to. Now, just to get a couple of things started off first before we get to the main point of the video. Last video I uploaded was, of course, the B2 packet, and I don't think I did it justice. Annoyingly, I don't think I really did it justice in the video. So apologies if the video was pretty much below the quality I usually do, which is not the best in the first place, let's be fair. But I do give it a good go. I do give it a decent try. Now, secondly, it is known that I very rarely double up on locomotives, purely because I don't like to. But in the cases of my O2 tanks and pugs, I did. Well, used to be pugs, sold one of them. And in the case of my W4 packets, well, there's actually a bit of a tale behind that one, and that's quite simply because my Manchester Canal livery one, the motor in that blew, and it had to be sent to Hornby for repairs. And in the 3 to 4 months I waited, I bought this one in Peckett's works green. Now, for some reason, people don't like the works green livery. I don't know why. It is brilliant. I do love that livery. It looks good. It looks good. It's very detailed. I like it. Why on earth Hornby and a lot of other retailers decided to price a plain black Peckett quite a fair little bit more than a beautifully detailed livery, I haven't the faintest clue on earth. If you have any ideas, please comment below. If not, well, feel free to agree with me, because that is weird. Now, to the point of the video, which is, in the name of it, Terrier. Specifically, A1 or A1x Terriers. Now, it's not going to be this one, although it will be appearing in the video, as this is the 30-year-old tooling one. And, yeah, 30-year-old tooling. Enough said there. Rubbish, garbage, pain in the backside. Especially to those who are of a DCC nature. But this is from the last batch Hornby had produced before they started on the new Terriers. Now, let's be honest, that gives it a significance to stay in my collection for the meantime. And here in New Zealand, that is only $10 less than the new ones. And I'm talking brand new shop price, not secondhand, brand new. $10 difference. That is actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good. And speaking of the new ones, like that, here's one in Southern Railway. I'm actually having a double take on this one. Southern Railway Deep Olive Green, which I think is a very lovely livery. It is a lot better than that malachite rubbish. So we got, basically now have 2 Terriers. Basically both of the A1X style bodies, even though the old one's classed as an A1. Rubbish. But that's not where I left it, because I've seen videos online in recent months and that of the new Terriers. Mainly separate style of videos though. It's either videos of the A1X styling or the old A1 styling. Never really a comparison. I mean, Class 47 Peter did have a go at it, I do admit. And he did do a good job. I will gladly admit that. He did do a good job. But I thought I'd give it a crack. See how bad it can go. Joking aside though, instead of the ones he got, I got myself a Southern Railway liveried one, and one that I really used to like during my childhood. I really did like this one during my childhood. 655 Stepney. I mean, anyone like me who grew up in the 90s and watched Thomas as a kid, who didn't want Stepney? You can buzz off with Thomas and his friends. Stepney was my favourite. And I've been saying for years, I don't like Thomas. It's true, I don't. Stepney, on the other hand, whoops, just dropped something there. Stepney, yeah. He appeared in 4 episodes in one season and a bit of a cameo in another, in the very early animated stuff where they still used the models but just CGI'd the face, which was very much rubbish. But it's still one of my favorite tank engines, the Terrier, I mean, because a fifth of the whole class survives to this day. 10 Terriers out of 50. And these were built around about 1870. So we're talking well over 140 years ago, coming up to 150 years ago. That is nuts. That is, I think, the only way you can get to, in the UK, speaking in the UK wise, the only way you can get to locomotives like that, pretty much narrow gauge, like on the Telflyn Railway. Their locomotives are about 175. The same could be said for the Festiniog Railway, such as Princess, Prince, Welsh Pony, and Palmerston. Never mind the double fairlies, because they did come later on in life. Let's be fair. And seeing with your knees crossed doesn't do you any favours. Ow. But yeah, out of all the Terriers, even the older ones that have more of a significance to their class, the most famous one is, of course, Stepney, who is, of course, the key locomotive, the star locomotive at the Bluebell, which is arguably the most famous railway in the world. It is basically the first preserved standard gauge railway in the world. I mean, sure, the telephone was the first preserved railway in the world, and the fact it never shut proves that. But, I mean, the Bluebell, it just really opened up the gates for over 150 preserved railways in the UK, which is actually quite cool. And there's actually only a handful of locomotives here in New Zealand that come close to the Terrier's age. One of which is one I've worked on, which is our New Zealand Railways Rogers K-Class 242 tender locomotive. Anyways, back to the models. That's the main story. My bad. Oh, and just in case you're still tuned in case you are still listening, please watch this video to the very end for some bonus content. Thank you. Now, let's unbox these two, not the old one, unless we have to do a comparison. Let's unbox them, see how good the detailing is, and then we'll do a comparison with the old, well, the really old tooling one, let's just say that. Alrighty-o, here we go. Okay, we got 3 Terriers right here. I'll just take this top one off because it's not needed at the moment. So I'll put that aside. And I think we'll start with the oldest one of the lot, which is Stepney. Because this would be 662 in the old LB SCR, I believe it is. Yeah, LB SCR livery. Okay. Now it's that lovely ice cube packaging that Hornby's very now well known for, along with the other model companies such as Bachmann, Helgen, Dapol. You know, the list goes on. Okay, here's the paperwork. Oh, good. Covers both the A1, A1X. Now, from this, it looks no different compared to the old one. Open it up, on the other hand, that's a different story. Hello. So we got lubrication points. Had to take the body off to get at the motor. That's always handy. Ooh, details. So we got a heat pipe and a brake pipe. That's always cool. And for you DCC fans, ta-da! Now, I won't ever be doing that, ever. And I like how in the accessories diagram, it says, confirm that the product will operate satisfactorily on your layout without interference. Because, I don't know if you can see it right, that little pipe there, it really mucks with the coupler. Unless you go free link or something like that, which I highly doubt. Who would do that to such a beautiful model? Straight out of the box. I mean, really? Goodness sake. Now then. Ooh, hello. Detail pack. And in the detail pack, orders is pipes. I don't know if you can see them right. There we go. So we got steam heat pipes and brake pipes. Yeah, look, they are very fine. I'll give them that. It is very fine. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Alright. Yeah, I like that. Bit of a soft plastic sheet on the top of the ice cube pack. Now I'll just carefully step me out of the pack and put the pack aside. There we go. Now, let's get a look at her up close. First of all, if the autofocus actually works with me for once, come on. There we go. I mean, look at that detailing on the handrail, smoke box and that, as well as the sifter valves and the very clever injectors, which are quite different compared to normal, because instead of the regular injectors, these ones actually work with the motion, so that's quite cool. I think, yeah, you can see between the barrel and the frames as well. That's quite nice. The handrails in that, that's beautiful. Handrails in that, that's beautiful. Gorgeous. Gorgeous work. Let's see what else. Hang on. NEM couplers. That's always good. Metal buffers. Non-sprung. Okay, there's a bit of a downside. Brake rigging. Already fitted because it's a Terrier. Let's be honest. I mean, that is... Look how slim those NEMs are. That's quite cool. Now, let's carefully hold this. Alright. There's the Westinghouse. I think that's a Westinghouse brake pump. The bunker looks good. The coal, I don't know if that's removable or not. If it is, leave a comment below. If not, oh bugger. But no, I think that's actually part of the molding, so no. And what looks like a highly detailed cap. I mean, with this lighting, you can't tell, but, you know. I'll flip her around. There we go. There we go. That's about as best as I can get with the detail of the cab. Sorry, folks. And just quickly put it back on the layout and let the camera work. There we go. Make sure it's actually on the rails. Just do a quick up and down with it, see how good its motion is. Now remember, this I did not clean my track lately, so this should be interesting. And Terriers going back and forth, how the crews used to get water in the boilers, as the injectors don't put the water in under pressure like normal locomotives. Instead, they work with the motion. I guess Stroudley did not figure his locomotives would be staying still for long. So, here we go. And just making sure it's actually on the rails. There we go. Let's try reverse. I mean, that is pretty cool. I think due to the dirty track, it's a bit jerky, but yeah. It's alright. Oops. Got it going a bit too fast forward. Let's try that again. There we go. That looks quite cool. Now I'm just gonna roll this the heck out of the way. As we get number 2662 out. Again, ice cube packaging. This one's quite in there. Whoa. And I'll take care of the zoom first. There we go. Take care of the zoom. Again, the paperwork. It's exactly the same, so won't bother with that. And no doubt the detail pack's exactly the same too. But yeah. Let's get a look at her. Let's see if we can find any differences. Okay, position of the sifter valves, that's different. That front pipe's already fitted, thank God. So is the rear pipe. I do like the extended bunker, and I think we get a better view of the cab like this. But yeah, apart from the smoke box and the bunker, I don't see any differences between the two, do you? No, I'll just bring them up like this. Have a good look at them. You tell me if you can find any differences between them. I sure as heck can't. Well, my job, an eye for detail is key, so I haven't a clue what's different on them. I can't tell. I really can't. For the first time ever, I'm actually kind of stumped. But for comparison's sake, let's have a look at them compared to the 30-plus-year-old tooling. Now, this will be off the rail, so on the baseboard itself. And let's have a look at it behind the new A1X. Okay. Okay, wow, looks slightly bigger. Wow. Okay, let's actually put it in the middle of these two here, so take care of the zoom there for a second. Yeah, it looks stupidly big. It doesn't even look like a Terrier compared to these two. It does not look like a Terrier, no. Instead, it looks more like a, I don't know, an E1 tank or something like that. I mean, the differences between them, with the smoke box, the boiler, the dome, everything. It's just different. It's crazy, wow. It is crazy. And you all heard how quiet the new Terriers are. This is how the old one sounds. The faster you ran it, the louder it got. No wonder I want to sell it. But it is a good model for what I've got for it. It has served me well, I'm not gonna lie. Now, for the running tests of these two Terriers, I'm gonna have to run them at the local model club for a good reason. One, I can run multiple locomotives at once there. Two, it's got beautiful scenery, and actually it will test the locomotive's pulling capability as it has inclines. Quite steep, I admit, if you go a certain way, but it does have inclines. Now, if history serves right, Stepney was push-pull fitted. Well, sort of, well, for motor trains, I should say. And, well, I think it would look okay-ish with one of my old Hornby or Airfix Great Western Auto coaches. It'll look a bit weird, but it will technically be prototypical-ish. As for 2662, I think maybe a small goods train will suit. A very light goods train. Just a shunt or something like that. Even a brake van special maybe. But as a coup de grace, I'll double head these two locomotives on a passenger service. It seems suiting. It seems very suiting for a review. And remember, it's not good. These two doing a run together won't be the end of the video. No. I got something else in mind for that. Annoyingly, it's not related to these two, but I think you all will enjoy it. Oh well, next, let's head to the layout. Well, here we are at the club layout. Now, before we start running these two on the club layout, almost forgot to do a bit of history work. Let's start with 2662, otherwise known as Martello. Now, let me see here. This one, which is actually one of the surviving members, was introduced as one of the motor train service units. Well, after the reboiling and that. Excuse me, a bit out of breath today. Asthma's pretty bad. Oh, converted to an A1x in December 1913. 662 Martello entered Southern Railway stock in 1923. Of course, the grouping in that. And was renumbered, as we see here, to 662 under the Southern Railways numbering. So they just added 2000. It pretty much worked the Haley Island branch due to Langston Bridge viaduct being very weak and only Terriers being strong and, well, the only locomotives light enough to go over it. Pretty much 2662 spent its entire Southern Railway life working as a regular on that branch line. Now, as for the history of Stepney here, well, in all fairness, I think someone else has done a better job at the history of this locomotive than I ever could. Even my mate 80 couldn't do justice to it. So, if I recall right, the bloke's channel's name is Terrier 55 Stepney, ironically. It was also in the first series of the Great Mod Railway Challenge. Didn't get it past the first round, but oh well. So, for Stepney's history, I'll leave a link in the description, and just for those of you who don't bother to read the description, I'll put an end card up at the, well, end of the video. Now, you'll note that these two are on different running lines. Well, that's for simple reasons. I want them to run separate trains before double heading a passenger service. I think I mentioned that earlier. Bear in mind, sometimes recording can take days. So, apologies if I've forgotten any of what I said before. Righto, we'll get these two hooked up to trains and we'll see them running.
Yeah.
Put that ring on your neck.
Huh.
So Greeks in here will take them. Because Greeks go on, so Tommy can get a ride of Greek. Yeah. Well, put a year, but right? Current. I don't do it. I like to watch yours. They watch one tonight.
I just help me wait to this one to pass.
The other thing is they haven't got a layout at home to run them on.
Yeah.
In the other location.
Yeah. You happy there? I helped them out. They could, I helped you out? Yeah, of course. I like you.
Well, it's American. Of course it's slow.
I know that.
Well, thank you for watching this far. You made it to basically the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching it. Now, before running on the club layout, yes, I did divulge basically the history that's on the back of the box of 2662, which was originally named Martello, and I believe still is. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. Locomotives change liveries quite a lot these days, so you never know. But I did not divulge the history of this little beaut. Whoops. That little beauty right there, which is 655 Stepney. Now, I could really just tell you what the history that's on the back of the box right now. No, not worth it, and the camera's about to fall on its back. Whoops. Sorry about the camera, folks. I'm leaving that in because it's quite funny. Whoop, there we go. Gotta leave a bit of humor in it, otherwise, why watch? But yes, I'll put a link for the history, and I mean the complete full history of Stepney up in the corner there. And the link for the channel of the guy who made the video down there. As for the link for my channel, right down here in front of me. And as for that, yeah, that'll be about right. Video, channels right there and there. And this is very hard to do when you haven't put them in yet. That's the hard bit. But yes, basically the guy spent quite a lot of time and doing research of this locomotive, which is very brilliant, very brilliant. And I did ask permission that I could use the video as an end card, and I was surprised of how positive the response was. Wow. I honestly was shocked and surprised on how positive the reply was, saying I could do it. Because normally it takes me about a week or a month to get permission to do something like that. This one day. Alright, enough of my rambling on. Let's get to the history of 655 Stepney, and the camera's gone. Camera's gone. Oh jeez, camera. Nah, I'll use this. It's too funny. It's too goofy, and a bit of humor is needed. Thank you all very much for watching. This is Upwell and Onwards, signing off.